Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Inquisition, episode 95 with eavySTYLEsteve. Looking forward to this one. Sorry I've been absent the last few weeks. Illness has smited me. Papa Nurgle was blessing me with far too many blessings, and I'm back to fighting fit now. I don't know why I put underscores underneath your name, Steve. I don't know why I did that. I'm an idiot. Hi Colin, how you doing? Dream Mag, always good to see you, pal. I'm just going to send you an invite now, Steve, and then we can get rolling. As I say, Casey will probably be his usual late self. Casey's going to be late. Casey's going to be late. That is what it is. How you doing, Mike? Hope you're well, pal.
Oh, there we go. Hello there.
Hello there. How you doing, pal?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Not bad. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, got you. You all right with me?
Yeah, sorry, my volume was down. That was probably
No,
why.
you're all right. I'll try and be louder.
So, yeah, we're just trying to see just give Casey a minute or two
Yeah.
before he comes in. Had a bit of a beard disaster yesterday. I was trimming my beard in preparation
You
for
took it all
the
off.
death, and I actually went in a wee bit too deep in the side, and I was like, bollocks. And but before that, I'd actually just shaved my head. So I thought, I'm going to have to shave the entire fucking thing off. So I just now look like a thumb. That's what I look like now, but it'll
It's
grow
all
back,
right.
hopefully. It'll hopefully.
Nurgle's had you. It's had his touch. You've gone wiped clean now. That's
I
it.
know. To
If
be
you just
fair
got rid
though,
of the eyebrows, just all the
I
way.
know. I think it's like years ago, right? I get absolutely steaming in the house. My wife would get really annoyed with me getting absolutely blattered in the house. And I passed out on the couch, and I woke up in the morning in bed, and I was like, "Oh, that was really nice." My wife put me to bed, uh, and I woke up, and you know when you wake up, you just go, "There's something missing."
Yeah.
I just went like that, and she had shaved one of my eyebrows off, right? And I'm like, you fucking bitch, right? So I had to then go and shave the other eyebrow off, and
Yeah.
nobody noticed. Nobody noticed until I told them that I had to shave my eyebrows off.
But that just means you can get away with it, don't it? It just means
I
that
know,
you've got no excuse not to do it.
I know. But yeah, we've gave Casey's 2 minutes.
Yes. For
He'll
his
probably he's probably fighting with his lad getting him to bed with that. So
yeah.
thanks for joining us tonight, Steve.
No, it's a pleasure.
The first question I ask everybody is, what age were you when you got into plastic track, and what was the first mini that you painted?
So probably 8, 9 years old. My uncle brought round. Do you remember like the '80s fantasy warhammer, the big fortress that was all foam? Brought all that round to me, and at 8 years old, I had no clue. I was just intrigued by the fact that they were metal, the way they done and looked pretty because he painted them all. But watched Lord of the Rings, got a subscription to. Do you remember that magazine they did of all the little? It was literally every week was a different character.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've ended up with Gandalf the Grey first episode, and it was literally just a grey splodge that I ended up.
And was it just an instant attraction to the
Yeah,
fantasy genre that brought you into it?
I think it was because I'd been so into it as a kid, you know, like as a kid in the whole fantasy aspect and like Dungeons and Dragons, all that sort of stuff. The minute I could get my hands on and build and paint and be stuck in, I was like, no, that's it, I'm sold.
Like, I'm pretty sure, like when Lord of the Rings came out, I was probably in my 20s, but I'm pretty sure that we all fantasized running about a forest, being Boromir, getting pinned with fucking arrows.
You know what? If you thought about being Boromir, that's on you. That speaks more about your character, Doug.
It was just more the whole. It was just more the kind of heroic uh, turnaround that he did himself. So
Yeah,
like, he was a cunt, and then he realised that he can't be a cunt, and then
yeah,
obviously Sean Bean, so he has to die.
yeah. In every single thing, has to die. But yeah, no, I entirely get it. It is that attraction of being the hero, everything going on, and that's that. So yeah, that is what got me into it. And then probably about a year later, discovered fantasy. Went Tomb Kings and Wood Elves, the two most intricate, fiddly little armies that I could have picked for a child.
Yeah.
And asked my brother to paint them all for me because I was like, there's too much here.
And tell me
So
this, right? So did you? So you did that up until probably I'm going to guess here, right, and say you probably did this until about 16, 17, and then you found out what your penis actually does apart from peeing, and get interested in girls, and then you found alcohol, and that was it then?
So no, I actually went to uni, did a year, and that was that. I stopped after a year and went working. So continued my hobbies and everything like that. Continued doing a bit of design. Hello, Casey.
I made it. Hey.
You know, wait 5 minutes, wait.
Well, I did it all last week, yeah, on my own, so shut up.
No, technically, I was there for about 5 minutes. I did ask one question, and then died.
COVID, again. Ooh.
Yeah, look, that bout of COVID lost me a stone in weight, so I am fighting fit now. I can see my penis again.
Was that just pure poo, though?
Oh man, honestly, snot and poo, honestly.
But yeah, I got into all that and literally just carried it on until probably early 20s. Got a serious job working for Jaguar Land Rover and just didn't have the time. So I worked there for 5 years and was like, no, I paint parts for a living now. Don't fancy painting, doing like primer, base coat, clear coat, and then going home and painting again. So stopped and then changed roles in the business and was like, oh, now I'm not painting anymore. Let's start again. So yeah, came back to it, and then lockdown hit. So that was Prime 8th edition, wasn't it? Was it 8th or 9th we got with the, yeah. Was it Indomitus? Yeah, Indomitus won it with the Judas here and all that. And the guy I worked with was like, oh, I collect Necrons. And I want rid of the Space Marines. I was like, right, deliver them. I was like, technically we're not allowed to see each other, but get them round. And yeah, came back to Space Wolves at that point, and discovered Uhu glue. Was the big thing. So I was doing a lot of like blood effects and everything like that. Nowhere near what I do now. I did a lot of just base coats and things like that. And yeah, and then just kept building and building and building, and went from painting with Steve a couple of years ago to now eavySTYLEsteve. So yeah.
So you were just plain old Steve, and then just went, fuck it, I need to go a wee bit heavier.
Yeah, literally that.
And
That not only did I put an extra 6 stone on, I also started blowing it on. Yeah, no, it was literally that. I just wanted to push myself. And also for the paint jobs I was going for the sort of box art style. But yeah, I'm kind of against it and for it. I don't want to go perfect every time because I think it's a saturated market now every time. People like Den, Hellglazer, they've got it to a T. I think I'm more of like tabletop plus to the middle bit is what I'd aim for. But I can't really say middle Steve. Don't really vibe the same.
Surely it wouldn't be middle Steve, it would be idle Steve.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. It would work to a degree. Yeah, it'd work to a degree. It'd ruin all the marketing that I've got like engraved on the wall now, but that's different.
Listen, you're an adult now with adult money. You can spunk it away in anything you want.
Yeah, no, don't start with that one, Christ. I think we all know that this hobby absorbs far too much of our finances.
Do you know what other hobby fucking takes way too much of my money? My wife's passion for trainers. I'm going to have a rant about this now, right? And I'm sorry, this is what I do, right? I sold all my Necrons for €240, right? Which is probably about £2.50 in UK money, right? But I sold them all to some guy down in Mayo or somewhere. And I was back to the wife, I says, right, I've got €240, I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to... And I stupidly told her what I sold it for, because I had to go and post it when I was dying.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, if you loved me, you'd buy me these trainers. And I was like, right, okay, I'll buy you those trainers. And she went, oh, actually, I don't want those ones. I want these ones. And then that was like 80 quid of my money gone. And I'm like, oh, bollocks. And then Captain fucking G-Word or Robo-Look or the Golden Child, my son, our former IT guy, went, well, I need trainers for my holiday. So, yeah.
I told you not to tell anyone, Nog.
Yeah, but I can't hold water, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you sell something that's our hobby, just keep that zipped. That's it.
Yeah, a lesson has been learned. Like, honestly, I would be rubbish if I was ever captured in combat, because I would just start telling. Do you know what I mean?
You'd be rubbish if you got pulled over by the guard for something trivial. You'd just grass up everyone in your street.
Oh, if there's a chance of me getting away with something, I will throw. It's like one of my mates fell out of me for about 2 years when we were watching Game of Thrones, because I hate getting. I don't mind things get spoiled on me, right? But I was trying to avoid spoilers for Game of Thrones, right?
Mhm.
And I stupidly clicked into a link in work, and it was just a picture of the dragon with the blue eye. So I was like,
Mhm.
bollocks, that's that ruined for me now. So I put in my mate's WhatsApp chat. Imagine if the Night King got a dragon, and my mate never spoke to me for about 2 years. He was absolutely fuming.
Yeah, well, that's an absolute spoiler. Imagine this, and then the next episode you watch, you just see the dragon get turned. Like,
Listen,
cheers, mate.
I'll spoil anything for everybody. Like, I've got a couple of stories about spoiling things, and then I'll put it back on you, right? So, my son was my son was annoying the shit out of me one week, and he was watching the first season of Cobra Kai. So I was like to him, "Stop annoying me, because if you try to annoy me, I'm going to ruin Cobra Kai for you." He's like, "Oh, you can't do that." And I said, "Well, all right, no worries." I says, "See, at the end of the first season, he gets tipped over a banister and breaks his back in the stairs." And he's like, "Are you being serious?" And I was like, "Aye, I'm being serious." And then I went, "I'm only kidding on." And then about 2 days later, all I heard was, "Oh no!" He came barging in the room. He was absolutely livid. And then my last story before I turn it back on you, Steve, right, was, see, what was the Batman with Bane in it?
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Right, so the Dark Knight Rises, right, I put on my Facebook at the time, I can't believe that Bane was the puppet to the Batman's girlfriend. And one of my mates put up, went, "You're such a dick for spoiling that for me. I hope you get stopped with the police." 5 minutes up the road, I get stopped with the guards who had no road tax.
That's just karmatic justice, don't? That's what that is.
Yeah. That's what you deserve. But
Yeah.
yeah, you're a horrible person.
So if I find something else, I will spoil it for everybody if it's been spoiled on me. And I take the consequences of people spoiling stuff for me. I don't actually mind anymore. So
No, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, there you go. You've just ruined it for Kim. What? I've not finished the first season yet. There you go. Well done.
The first series of what? We've just ruined like 3 different things.
yeah. So you get back into it just before lockdown then? Back
Yeah,
to
so
the
I got
podcast?
massively into it. Massively back into it. Got Indomitus. Started hammering out like Space Wolves. Discovered all the bass and effects that weren't around when I was younger. You know, like the Valhalla Blizzard and everything. And I was like, oh, look at how cool it is. I can do it like ankle deep. And then I look back at the photos now and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, that's literally £3 on a bass. I'm just bored on there. But yeah, so I got back in for Space Wolves, tried to change them up a little bit. And did it mainly for fun more than trying to get good at painting. But yeah, so stuck with it, improved little bits, and then did a little bit of work more on Stormcast when they dropped the following year. Was it the new edition where it was like, oh, you know, they're all in their new sleek armor now?
Yeah, with the redesigned orcs, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the horrible ones, you mean? Like the absolute shame that they brought to us. But yeah, did that, joined in with that, and got again, because there was such delights to Edge highlight, got onto that. And then stuck with it from there and have just been doing bits and pieces ever since. And then this year really pushed, if you've seen that on my wall this year, I've really been pushing like this summer to get that heavy style back up there, really. Admittedly, spamming a post a day to try and keep that engagement, but yeah.
It's good. It's good. Well, obviously, you sort of said that, yeah, when I just jumped in, that you sort of jumped between aiming for it, getting this sort of old school heavy metal edge highlight, everything to the nth degree style, but also just sort of aiming for a little bit low, because as you said, there are so many people out there that do it so well. And I swear to God, if I log onto that chat and the Imperial Greater Good has edge highlighted a single panel of armor in 12 hours, I'll go mental. But when you look at, seeing as like you've taken that step back and gotten back into it, when you look at some of the newer stuff, do you sort of look there and think, that looks good, but maybe I want to paint it a bit differently? Or do you just sort of stay with the mind of, that looks great, I want to try and get to a similar standard?
I've really struggled with it because I've got a Saturnine, you know, the Praetor that they did out of the 30k box set.
Yeah.
I started it in Space Wolves colours. I was like, I'm going to do it as a Terminator captain. I was like, because such a nice model, don't want to miss out on it. And I started doing it in the heavy metal style, and I was like, there's just so many open panels that I can't openly sit and do it. like just for the heavy metal style, because there's so much to do on it. It's just nice to be a bit more creative. Same for like the Stormcast re-release the last year, Vermintide or Stop, whatever it was, not Vermintide.
Yeah, Vermintide.
That one, I went all out on like neon colouring for the wings. Like I got Louis Sugden's paint, the bloody Pro Acryl one, just because it was such a vibrant blue, and I was like, I'm going to do every single wing and every single eye to pop like that. So yeah, it is one of them where I see different models and change it. Like if on Space Wolves I got bored after 2 models and now started doing dust weathering. So it's something that I can't sit and do 50 to 60 hours on one model. I do not have that attention span. I want to. Like I see people, as I said, like 84 paints, like everyone like that, and I'm like, that looks amazing. I want to sit, I want to do it. And I get about 8 hours into a helmet and I'm like, right, I'm done. I was like, I'm absolutely done with this. I'm going to put an edge highlight on it. I'm going to glaze it a little bit and I'm done. Like, yeah.
It kills me. Like if I spend more than an hour on a mini, I think I've spent too much time on it. But that's me. We have had some questions from the chat, so let's go through them. First of all, we've got Graham, aka Eop Painting, who wants to know, since getting back into your hobbying, what is your favourite improvement in materials or tools that you use?
I think it'd have to be the paints. Like kid Citadel paints were trash. They used to come in those tiny little pots, you know, that were like the little lips, and they were horrendous. Citadel, don't get me wrong, everyone complains about pots, I get it. But I will say they're a lot better and more reliable on consistency and pigment than they used to be.
Yes.
Other than when you try and colour match too. But also brushes. Like there's so many brush developers, like you guys with orange brushes, like everyone like that.
Don't be stealing our adverts, bruv.
Like I'm doing it for you, I'm trying to get plugged. No, but no, my point is that there's so many now that they do it at affordable prices. Before you were looking at like artist brushes as a kid, and I would not have got permission off my parents to get a £25 brush for me to go, oh, I can paint skeletons. Like it just wouldn't happen. There you go. There's the plug.
like a bald Wolverine. Giant Paints Minis wants to know, what's an army you could never paint?
I don't know. Too much flesh and too many different colours. As much as I love a giant turtle and a giant shark, and I think it'd be really fun, I think that they would be a nightmare. And it also brings me way out of comfort zone of edge highlights. Like the shell, yes. Like normal sharks, no.
Like that.
Not at all.
Have you unplugged my light?
Yes, I have. Go on, buddy. Just shout by. You're not getting on the camera, but shout by. Go on, away with you. Go to bed, you gobshite. Past his bedtime. I've been, kids. Right, Paint Party Scott, aka Ryan. How hot are you for Max on a scale of 1 to 4?
Absolute 10. Like, just absolute 10 for Max every day of the week. He knows this.
Celestial Lion 40k. Sorry, bruv, I got your name wrong. Dust Weathering. Never heard of that one. For anyone who's not heard of it, what's an explanation? What you got?
Yeah, so things like pigment powders. Just break my entire desk. Pigment powders by Vallejo. So literally, you can either wet them down, water them down a wee bit, and run them into recesses, or just get them with a dry brush and just brush up from the base onto essentially anything that looks like it'd be in contact with the environment. So I've been doing like a Mars base, which is similar to Armageddon, and then just laying it down with some pigments and then just spreading it around. But then I did it in power pack. It depends how far you want to go with it, really. From realistic to, well, realistic as far as you can in the 41st millennium. But yeah, there you go. That's what that is for me.
Cool. And Kukin Adventures wants to know, what's, in your opinion, obviously we know Duncan and mine opinions on this one. Yeah. Since getting back in, I'd say actually from when you were first in it and since getting back into it, what do you think is the worst model you've come across and why? Games Workshop model.
Oh, right. First one for me that was the worst of the trials. Remember Gandalf the White in metal?
Yes.
That thing could have killed a small child, as well as having the worst gaps in it in the world. I remember getting it and being so excited, like I finally got the next level up version. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, Christ. Like, it's got more gaps than anything else.
And it was
then
metal, so
modern,
everything would be bent, or you'd have all the mad sticky, pointy flash bits. And
literally that's it. I'd like look at it and I'd be like, why can I not only like there's flash, there's everything else. I've just cut all my like my hands as a child are in bits anyway. And then like you look at the bottom of the horse and there's at least like a 3 mil gap, even though you've super glued it. And I'm like 9-year-old, I am not using milliput. Like it's just not happening.
and then
But yeah,
modern models, what would you say your worst one is?
it's controversial, but Cortez, the new Inquisitor model, the baby suit, like
I don't think that's controversy. I think it's a piece of shit, and I've said that before. So don't worry, you're not alone.
people said it, and then people were like, "Oh, head swap it, and it'll be fine." But every time I look at it, I'm like, "Nah, it's just a golden turd." Like I can't openly admit that it's a nice model. Like same for the Custodes new Shield General or Shield Captain. I'm a huge Custodes fan, but that new model was a squat. They ruined the entire design, and I was like, "Why have you done this to one of my favourite factions?" Yeah,
There's definitely more misses nowadays than there is hits.
it's because they're pushing so hard, though, isn't it? I think they're pushing so hard to now. I know they used to do weekly releases, which were mint, but now they're doing 2 weekly. But they're trying to do. Me and Max said it the other day. They're trying to do 2 weekly, but have a huge impact every 2 weeks. It's not like the old days where it'd be like 3 weeks of, all right, I could do with an upgrade, and then one big thing at the end of the month, like new kill team end of the month. Like this month, we've had kill team, then 2 week pre-order. You've got Helms of the Hashut, you've got the new upgrade to Necromunda. I'm like, there's so much that they're just hoping something hits for someone. That's how it comes across.
Yeah, because I was seeing that the new Dracari had been like released, and a few people were raging because it was like just like a rebox of old minis, and I think there was like one new mini in it, and they were they were just so apparently it's just so uninspiring that people are fuming with the Dracari.
Like, yeah, but also that combat patrol, that announcement, I looked at it and I was like, the old school combat patrol for value is madness. The new one is awful. Like, not that many people, from what I know, play those units. And I'm like, don't get me wrong, not the named character. It was 2 new characters, wasn't it? They're doing a new Archeron and then that woman.
Yeah.
The new Archeron, smashing. Like, absolutely out of the park. New woman, I understand that she's a character that people have seen a lot of lore about. I don't know that much about her, but looks nice. But again, not my cup of tea. But the Archeron is like what you'd expect from the new Dark Eldar.
It's almost that borderline a classic Dark Eldar, slightly new.
Yeah, exactly. And yes, that's the one, Malice. And Malice is the woman. But yeah, that was good. And then they've released a Battle Force at the same time that looks like the big battle boxes we're getting, but without the codex. And I'm like, surely you just conglomerate on the FOMO releases and put a codex in it that's limited edition and go, there you go, boys. You can have Dark Eldar.
I will say, I do agree with you on that, and I don't think it's just the Dark Eldar one, but I think a lot of the recent Combat Patrol boxes have been pretty crap offerings.
Space Wolves was good. I'll give them credit. I will give them credit. It had literally new units, everything except the Wolfen. And I'm like, fair play for that, because at least you've got that in. The new ones, I'm not 100%. Imperial Fist seems good value. Heavy Intercessors, normal Intercessors, Command Squad, and a Terminator Squad. Fair play. Could be good.
It's pretty much a good start of Marine Army, no matter what you select.
You're right. AOP painting with Blood Angels, they just slammed in 20 of the, what was it? 6 Hand Grenade Guards, 10 Assault Intercessors with an upgrade sprue and the captain. Yeah.
Was it the Iron Hands one that looked like absolute trash? It was just like a...
Yes, that they've not released it, have they? Yeah. No. I want the model, don't get me wrong, the new Terminator model with like the giant cudgel that looks sort of like it should be a white scar with the ematics. But yeah, want that, but the Combat Patrol is just no. No, they're not hitting nearly like they used to. I miss the start collecting days. They were the box sets to have.
Yeah, the start collecting ones, and I think back in the day when they used to release the old Battle Forces as well, which was just an army in a box, and you could get it for £100. Not that we had £100 back then, but now we've got £100. It's like, well, hang on, where's that gone?
Literally that. But if you look at it, like when I first joined, like Tomb Kings, you got like 20 skeleton horsemen, 3 chariots, a character, 2 lots of infantry, and some bowmen. Now I look at the old one, I'm like, it's £50 for 20 skeletons that are a mould from like the late 90s.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, it is insane. It's becoming, and the new price hike is becoming more and more elitist. And I'm like, it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we won't get into the politics of all of that.
No, not at all.
Yeah. We will touch on it.
But Warhammer's always been elitist. Like, even when I was younger, I found it was elitist. It was always the posh boys and peachy that could afford to get, only because I've just seen them pop in, that could actually afford to get
Hello, Peter.
Oh, hello.
games
All
and
right,
stuff. I mean, it is well done. It's always been dear though, because always like the posh boys in my school that bought it when I went to school. Do you know what I mean? You'd always see them geeking out
When
and
you
talking
went.
about it.
But I think my biggest, the only time I ever thought it was elitist is I worked at a place in Sheffield where I made steel parts. And the two owners were like twins, and they were really well off. Do you know what I mean? From company, from dad, everything. And they were like, "Oh, you paint Warhammer?" Like, "Oh, let's see your page, etc." And I was like, "That's cool." And he's like, "Oh, we used to shoot Land Raiders in our back garden with a gun." And I was like, "Are you actually having me on?" I was like, "That's just money just gone away." But I was like, "But each to their own. Like, you've built it, you've painted it, and now you're just gonna shoot it. So do what you want. Like, it's each to their own."
I think this is
Timmy17, Casey drops 300 quid on new armies every year. That's what he does.
fuck off. No,
Casey's on
no,
eBay.
we all know.
Don't be spreading lies about Casey. He's on eBay doing people in with offers.
You are. No, I mean, if I had £300 to drop on something, believe me, it would not be a Warhammer army. And at the moment, I've only just finished paying off my Switch 2, and that was on Argos Finance. So there you go.
Yeah, but worthwhile investment, mate. Worthwhile investment.
So I think something that I was sort of wanted to bring up, getting you on.
Yeah.
I do drop £500 on Palace shirts, though. Yes, I will accept that. Obviously, sort of having coming back in and sort of, and this, I think this is something that we ask everyone, done. You know, when you've taken that break off, you come back in. Graham wanted to know about what you think of modern improvements of it all. But again, looking back on where it was, and I suppose not just the minis, but also gaming and everything else to where it is now. Do you feel that it's more accessible, less accessible? Do you think there's more barriers to learning things, more difficulties of it, or because the internet is out there, everything's just so much easier and better?
Yeah. I do think it's easier because of, like, if you look at like the olden days, you had like fantasy, 40k. Now you've got your entrance paths. Like, don't get me wrong, Warcry is dying a death. From GW's perspective, like going online only, I see that may be on its way out. But Kill Team when it first came out was just the standard tactical squad and was it the Pathfinders? Just in a little box. It was painted as a Raven Guard, and it was the Viola. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Them two were against each other, did really well. And then it just disappeared, didn't it? For a couple of years, it was like, oh, well, Kill Team was fun. And then they did the Scouts box set, which was, can't think, either way. It was very similar to Necromunda, now someone said it. It was very, very, very similar, the scenery. Saw that it went high, and then they brought it back, didn't they? And since then, it's been very much a gateway for a lot of people. They do an individual key to Kill Team, and then people go, oh, they look like a bit of me. And that's it. They've just lost £55 out of the bank balance, £200 on paints and 6 paintbrushes. Like that's... And with the way they do Kill Team, I feel like they update it less to buy a rule book with than general 40k. 40k, you get spanked. You join within 3 years, 4 years, you're going to have to buy your rules, you're going to have a narrator, you're going to have this, you're going to have that, you can play meta. And for me, that's always been the off-put. Like, I would love to sit and build a 3,000 point army and have it sat on the shelf and go and play. But I don't have the time or the patience to go, I need this rule, I need that, I need this book, I need that book. And you're right, internet is mint. It brings it all together. But again, it's having that time to assign to it. Like, it's nice to just come home, paint, crack on. There you go. Like, I think it is accessible, but still a higher thing to get into, I think. Painting's the easy side to get into. Gaming is your next level, like, really.
Me and I'm going to mention Mr. Internet because I'm surprised he's not live this now, Old Workgate Studios, Sam. We were actually discussing this yesterday about the competitive side of it and how it's maybe ruined a lot of casual play.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like I mentioned it yesterday, like I was playing one of the guys in my local club because they're getting ready for Broadsword Wargaming. They've got a big tournament in November. And one of the rules, if you've got some stupid Space Marine tank, that if there's one tyre track out of cover, then you can shoot all your weapons. And it's like, that is not how fucking tanks work. Like,
All right,
how,
Mr. Realistic Army, come on.
how
We know
is
they're
that?
wearing power armor, but
And then you can't shoot them back because they're behind covers. What kind of bullshit rules that? But I
yeah,
think those sort of things need to change for like the competitiveness and just like the fun aspect. Because if you've got
yeah,
somebody who's just taking a purely metalist, whereas I know that in November I'm taking shit that I've painted because it looks cool and I've spent a shit ton of money on it.
yeah.
That I get spanked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a big problem at the minute is the competitive scene, as you say, because people will go into a shop and buy an army to be meta orientated rather than going and looking at the model and going, Sternguard look amazing. Let me do like a 10-man squad and just enjoy it. They'll go, right, I want 5 Sternguard, but I want 2 boxes because I want 2 of the heavy weapons. I want a captain with this. And they will just cherry pick the best bits for their army instead of just enjoying the fact that we've got 20 units that are all applicable just like for anything. It's gone a bit bonkers, but I feel like Heresy's gone the same way as well.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to generalise it a bit, but Heresy has gone mad. Like I remember last year when the Solar Auxilia came out in plastic, or the year before, sorry. But either way, like the rules for them just got absolutely insane. Where it was like, if you're a Night Lord player, you can now strike terror with this, and everyone was like, right, I'm painting everything Night Lords now because they've got the best stratagem. And I'm like, right, well, why don't you just paint something you enjoy? Like, if you're gonna have to paint 3,000, like 300 units overall, like 300 little men, do something you enjoy. Don't do it for the meta because you're just gonna hate it.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
taking.
Yeah.
I bought 2 War Dogs. I'm
Yeah.
taking them with me just because I want to see them
Yeah.
stomp about.
The stunning models, a War Dogs, absolutely stunning models. They broke the mold for what were it, 2.5 years? Remember they went out of stock.
Yep.
They smashed the mold to bits, didn't they? Because they were that popular that they sold out, and then because no one could get them, they're like, "Oh, we're not going to run them anymore. They're not meta. We can't get them." Like, oh, cool, great. You've got rid of a perfectly stunning unit now for absolutely nothing. Yeah,
So our resident Yorkshire tea drinker /
yeah.
Liverpool fan. I don't know. I still don't understand why he supports Liverpool if he's from Yorkshire. What Primark would you? What Primark, regardless of how they died, would you bring back?
Sanguinius, hands down every time. I feel like Sanguinius would be the best one to bring back, and would just be one of those that would be charismatic to the actual plot line, as well as being something that the other 2 that are back now for the good guys aren't. Gilliman's boring. The Lion is just Gilliman on steroids a wee bit. And Sanguinius was a renowned warrior, strategian, or whatever you want to say. And then also was a little bit like Fulgrim, had a bit of flair to him. But yeah, and his foresight could really mess about with the current plotline, I feel. Like it could be like, oh, we shouldn't go there, and then they don't go, and then all of a sudden, Black Templars are raging across the entire Imperium going against him. I think it'd be a really interesting perspective, but yeah, I don't think we'll get him back.
I'm not going to even lie. I had a complete brain fart because I was so focused on trying to find out why a Yorkshireman supports Liverpool that when you said Primark, all I could think of was a clothes shop. I just did my brain just disconnected for a good 20 seconds. I'm like, why did they talk? What? Oh, okay. There you go. I've had one of those days.
Oh, it's fair. It's fair.
Fucking clothes. Right. So we know your feelings on Primark. We know your feelings on your paints. Actually, paint. You mentioned the Citadel one. You've also mentioned using Louise Sugden's
Pro
range.
Yes.
What is your preferred paint of choice at the moment? Because you sound like you dabble, but what
I
if
do dabble a lot.
your head you can only use one brand for the rest of your gaming career? What are you using?
2 thin coats. The colour match to like box art schemes, as well as more paint, consistency, mixing balls, just make it an easy choice. There's only some slight colour changes, like Sanguine Scarlet isn't quite Mephiston red, but it's close enough that if you paint it, and by the time you've noticed, it's not that bad. But yeah, no, I think definitely, if I had to pick, definitely those. Definitely, yeah.
And what is it that you actually use at the moment? Are you on the 2 thin coats, or are you just dabbling across lots of different things?
No. So majority two thin coats. Don't get me wrong. The only time I don't use them is skin. I do skin from Vallejo Game Colour. I literally have a triad of paints that I use just for those, and then just highlight up with an ivory, and that's literally about it. The rest of it is two thin coats. I don't get me wrong, as I said, like dabble somewhat with metallic from Pro Acryl just because they are that good metallic wise. But yeah, other than that, yeah, it's majority two thin coats. Like their glaze paints, washes are all comparative, everything. Yeah.
I will say, if you ever want to dabble with metallics, try the Vallejo airbrush ones, because that's what I use, even using just a normal brush.
I've heard very good, like exhaust manifold is meant to be like an amazing metallic for like a similar to Iron Warriors, that sort of thing.
Yeah, manifold, the chrome as well is.
Yeah, okay, I'll have a look then. Like, yeah. Okay.
Dog's pissed off to slap his dogs about it. No, he's not doing that. RSPCA don't come for us. I don't know what the Irish equivalent of the RSPCA is, but they exist. Let's go off topic for a little bit, because this is something we love to do on this show. Is we go off topic for a good 20 minutes to half an hour. You've recently come back from Disneyland Paris. How was that for you?
It was, it was really nice. It wasn't as busy as I expected it to be, and don't get me wrong, it's just one of those things that I went round, enjoyed it for what it was at face value, from someone who, paints giant 8-foot things that are with giant swords. Going to see Goofy bombing about is a little bit different. But you know what? The rest of Paris was also lovely. Like, it's been really nice. Went to the Eiffel Tower yesterday, all that sort of stuff. It was nice to see a bit of a different experience than just the east coast of England.
Yes.
From Scarborough to Paris is a hell of a difference. Like,
yeah, that's the same as anyone would say. How much was Graham's asked how much was the food in there? I imagine he's asking Disney as opposed to Paris in general.
It's do you know what? I thought it'd be worse priced. So I had one alcoholic beverage and that was like £8, but your lunch is probably about 10 to 12 euros. So about
the same as London then.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. I thought it would be a lot worse, to be honest with you. I really did.
And how did the kids find it?
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. Yeah, absolutely loved it. So yeah, that was really good.
Good, because I might go Paris at some point in the next year, do the Eurostar, but I'm not going to do Disney because we're not a Disney family, so I can get away with that.
I think Paris is, don't get me wrong, Paris is lovely. And if you're going to go, there's this thing like Bonjour or something, and it's all your transport for like 40 quid for the week. And kids go free. Worth doing. Like, absolutely worth doing. So, yeah.
So, as we're off topic, and I've just mentioned you've got kids, this is something me and Doug both love to try and find out about. How is balancing parenthood with hobbying? Because as we all know, work-life balance can be difficult enough, and then you throw in kids to the mix, and it's just like...
I think with my work, it works out quite well. So I do like morning shifts, afternoon, or a night. And I'm going on a night soon, so for me, doing 10 while 6 at night, and then coming back, I can sleep for a bit, then hobby for a bit, and then go back. I've kind of got away with it with the 62210 because I always spend the morning or the afternoon with him. I get away with it. Do you know what I mean? I get enough time with him that then when it comes to like 9 o'clock at night, I'm like, right, that's it. I'm going to my desk now. I'm going to do something for my own head. So yeah, no, do you know what? I've really enjoyed the balance of it. I'll enjoy it more when he's of an age that I can put a paintbrush in his hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you just sit here, I don't mind what you paint. But
yeah, I will definitely say recently, obviously I put it in the chat that we're all in that, you know, I took my lad to Warhammer World. He bloody loved it, and that's always a good bit of fun. And Dunk, I think I remember you saying your lad has picked up a paintbrush once or twice, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's also beat me in a game of Warhammer as well, the wee dick.
There we go.
That's exactly how we think about our kids.
Right, so when we're not parenting, when we're not Warhammering, what does Steve do to chill out?
Genuinely go out with a dog. That's literally what it is. Exploring new places with a dog, or, as you know from our chat, we all hammer Space Marine too. it's one of those things that we are renowned for in that chat. But yeah, usually a little bit of gaming, bit of exploring, and or just going out for like coffees, little things. So yeah, just a bit of exploring really.
And what type of dog do you have?
Labrador, just turned 3 years old this week. Little shite. It is.
They are dog trash cans. They will eat everything.
They eat anything, everything, and just mine has no concept of personal space. Like you could come and visit, and I'd be like, Pablo, sit down, and he just would jump at you until you acknowledge him, and then once you've acknowledged him, would continue to then try and get you on the floor, like no matter what you do.
You know what? I've got an admission to make about Labradors, right? This is going to sound creepy and weird, but I'm going to say it anyway because this is a safe space and I expect to be taking the piss out of fully. That's absolutely fine. A couple of weeks back, we went to the Peterborough Beer Festival with some friends of ours and they bought their dog, who's Golden Retriever. I think it's about same age, 2-3 years old. And crouched down, went to stroke him. Bastard thing jumped me, pushed me to the ground and started chewing my ears.
I got a bit like a pig's ear case.
I'll take that. You know, that's a fair comment. But it's the most action I've had in ages. But, you know, you are right. They have got no sense of personal space at all, have they? They're just, they think they're tiny when they're massive things.
Literally that. I think he still thinks he's a puppy. So, like, he will jump at you and be like, all right, what matter? But he's now a 30-kilogram dog.
I've got a German Shepherd and she still thinks that she's a puppy and she's fucking huge.
Yeah. Exactly that. It's mental. They just don't learn.
But they're arseholes.
They are. We love them, but yeah.
So as we can see, Casey is stuffing his face. What do you like to stuff your face with?
I'm gonna admit a guilt thing here for Jaffa cakes massively. Jaffa cakes is like the go-to. Like recently, Aldi have just released Bakewell Jaffa cakes. Elite, mate. Absolutely elite.
Are they just Jaffa cakes with cherry filling?
No, like they've got like it's almost like marzipan around the outside as well. Like it is like a full-on Bakewell. It is absolutely smashing. It's like white chocolate over the top as well. Like it just, yeah, it was really good. I think it was about 30 seconds that they lasted in this house.
And when you're what crisp of choice would be your crisp of choice?
Pringles, salt and vinegar.
Brilliant. You know what? I like salt and vinegar, but Pringles ain't it for me.
No, Pringles. I just like the crunch. And
right, folks, that's us finished for another week. We can all unsubscribe. We can all unsubscribe from eavySTYLEsteve now because his passion of Pringles is like nobody admits to that. Do you know what I mean?
You get a handy tube for the terrain, but yeah.
And when you're washing down your Manky Pringles that aren't actually crisp, so you never answered the question, and your Lidl, Aldi, Bakewell, Jaffa cakes, what do you like to wash it down with? Alcoholic and non-alcoholic, if you're into that sort of thing.
Right. So alcoholic, non-alcoholic. Alcohol would have to be Guinness. Absolutely every time. Love Guinness. Non-alcoholic would probably be Dr. Pepper. Like genuinely.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
See, again, Dunk's not a fan of it, but Dr. Pepper is a solid choice. You just need to get on the team, Dunk.
Yeah, it is.
I don't trust anybody that's not a doctor. Dr. Martin, don't trust him.
All right.
Dr. Fox,
version.
Don't trust him. Do you know what I mean?
Professor Peppy then.
Yeah, get the Audi version. Professor Peppy. It's a professor. It's not a doctor.
Well, he probably went to school. Do you know what I mean? He's a chemist.
Maybe he's got a professorate in geography or something.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Here's a good one. I'm going to argue them.
Here's a good one for all of us, because I don't think we've asked this in the ever, Dunk. But I clocked this question a little further up. Kuchen Adventures wants to know, what is the best UK dessert? He puts forward sticky toffee pudding. I don't think we've ever talked properly about desserts on this sort of...
I'll back sticky toffee pudding, because I make an absolutely smashing sticky toffee pudding, so I'll back it.
Roasting hot lava, rhubarb crumble, and ice cream.
You know what, from you, that shocks me. Like, just, I didn't expect rhubarb crumble. Like, I just didn't.
What were you expecting? Deep fried Mars bar with some fried beef or something? A fucking 4-way fucking floor because I haven't done it all now. No, man, fucking. And I'm talking like lava hot that you have to have ice cream to it'll burn like your brain out your skull because it's
Yeah, like where you get the tongue when you can't taste anything for the next 2 days after your first mouthful. Yeah.
When it's too hot and it touches the roof of your mouth and it just turns into an instant blister.
Yeah, literally that.
Now,
Yeah, that's the only way to have crumble.
I'm not a fan of a crumble.
No?
No, you know, it's just fruity things like that. No, not about me. I prefer a chocolatey thing, like a classic, massive, hot brownie. Ice cream, obviously, a bit of sauce on it.
Yeah, fair.
I don't think that's particularly UK as such, but I'll have it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Can't be a chocolate brownie, to be fair.
And
Standard, but yeah.
Someone in ADHD suggested bread and butter pudding.
Yeah, see, I was almost expecting someone to say spotted dick in the chat. I expected it.
Yeah, but Casey went to the doctors and get cream about that, so he's all right.
Yeah, how's that cream work for you now? I sent it to you though.
Because of Brexit, I have to pay a fucking fee. You know what I mean? There's no way I go into the north because they're still rioting up there and shooting. I think they're just rioting for everybody now.
I think my favourite thing of Brexit was definitely today when I was in the airport buying something and I was like, oh, which price is it, please? And the French guy literally turned around at me and went, hey, Britain, Brexit, and cheered. And then just pointed to the cheapest price. I was like, I'll accept it. I'm not going to join in with screaming about Brexit, but I'll accept it. I was like, thank you very much. See you later.
Dear, we're a bit of a laughing stock, aren't we? Kimmy, yes, you know what? Kimmy B79 today has said Viennetta. We all do love a Viennetta.
Oh my Christmas, though. Oh my Christmas.
Christmas. No, you can't have it.
What about Christmas?
Because because obviously you English are rich, us Scots are poor, so we could only afford the Viennettas at Christmas and after 8 months, after 8 o'clock on Christmas Day.
See, after 8 months, yes, they're definitely a Christmas thing. Well,
yeah, agreed there.
Viennetta, back in the day and again, this is when things were cheap. You could go to KFC, get a family feast meal. They put a bottle of Pepsi and a Viennetta in there, and it was like 20 quid.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm from Scotland. We had Margaret Thatcher stealing our milk.
It's not everyone's milk dunk, not just the Scots.
Yeah, but she started with the Scots first. It's well known.
Okay, no, let's not jump on the Thatcher bandwagon.
Right, we're gonna move back from that.
Right, so I'm going to ask you a question here. Casey, remind me, what is your Space Marine faction?
Oh, here we go.
What I called them, or what?
No, what's your favourite Space Marine faction?
Favourite one? I don't even. I feel like this is a plug I'm missing out, or is this an act?
No, he's going to go for me.
It's a genuine question.
My favourite Space Marine faction, I would probably say, is the Imperial Fists.
Right.
Yeah.
So, the Imperial Fists and Steve, your Space Puppies, right?
Yeah, Space Puppies.
I'm stealing this straight from Tabletop Tactics, right? Who would you have play the Primarch for the Imperial Fists and for the Space Puppies?
Oh.
And for anyone in the chat, your favourite Space Marine faction, good or bad, because they're all Space Marines, who would you have as your Primarch? What actor would you have as your Primarch? Now, I'm Death Guard, so I would have, what's his fucking name? Josh Brolin.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I see that, actually. I see that. But then I also would probably put him as Rogo Dawn. Like the hair.
The chin, the hair.
Yeah.
One of the guys in Tabletop Tactics had him as Imperial Fist, as Rogo Dawn. Yeah.
I'm just thinking Lehman Russ. Like Lehman Russ, who would I put him as? Because
Henry Cavill Wolverine. That's the closest you get to Lehman Russ. It's just Henry Cavill Wolverine.
But he's definitely Valdor. After his love of it all, he's definitely... No, actually, do you know who would be Valdor? Have you seen the new Superman film?
Yes.
So, what's his face? Nicholas, whatever it is, who played...
Oh, Nick Hoult was...
I think that could work. But I would actually probably agree with you that about Cavill as Lehman Russ.
Actually, you know what?
Or Hemsworth.
ADHD has just hit a nail on the head there for Gerard Butler, because I did go and see the live action remake of How to Train Your Dragon with my boy, and he is a fat old Viking in that. But if you made him hench again, that could work.
Yeah, okay, Gerard Butler from like back in the day, like yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Zendaya for us. All right, man.
No, Zendaya's just an evil look after Dune 2 and the evil looks all the time, and just completely ruined me.
Yeah, honestly, with who Max collects with Death Guard, I'm not going to let you off Brolin anymore. Don't you've got to pick someone else. He's Imperial.
You could have. I tell you who'd be a good Mortarion right now, and that's fat old Vin Diesel. Have you seen the video he did recently where he's talking about the next Fast and Furious film, and he's hyping it up? He's like, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we'll get Paul Walker back. It's like, bro, you're old and fat now, please stop. And that would be...
That's what he
give
does.
him some dirty wings in, yeah, he's fine.
Yeah,
that's what he does between films, though. That's what he does between films, though. But I'm just going to jump quickly to the end, right? So, not the end of the podcast, but in the Tabletop Tactics, they were talking about who they would have as Horus. That was the last Primarch that they'd done.
Yeah.
They were saying Tom Hardy, but I would think Tom Hardy would be a good Abaddon.
I would put Tom Hardy as Corswain more than Abaddon. Like loyal till the end. You know what I mean? Like the beard, gruff, little bit Dark Angel, Knight vibe. Like that very much takes on Typhus and kicks his ass. Like yeah.
My problem with Tom Hardy is no matter what you see him in, he's always got to put a silly voice on, and it just kind of ruins him. Like I think the last time I see him in something that he didn't have a silly voice was when he was in Band of Brothers, and it was one of the first things he did, and he was actually had an American accent.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
I do appreciate his ability as an actor, but at the same time, it's like, stop with the voices, bruv. But maybe...
Did not Black Hawk Down first?
I thought Band of Brothers were before Black Hawk Down, but I might be wrong.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to double check that. But he was in the last 2 episodes of Band of Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
And I was saying to someone to this the other day, it's mad when you look back at shows like that and see who was in it, like Fassbender's in it and all sorts of people. But, yeah. We do have some other questions in there as well, while we're off topic. And I tell you what, I think this is something that's relevant. I've not seen it today yet, Duncan. You probably have. And bearing in what you mind you just said earlier, are you watching Alien Earth, Steve?
I have watched the first episode, and then, as Dunk said, like all social media ruined it for the rest. I've seen the little eyeball thing in the cat and the lot, and I've been like, right, well, I'm not watching it to finish now.
It's not a cat, it's not a goat.
No, there's one in a cat.
No, there's not one in a cat. There's one in a goat.
Oh, is it a goat? I've just seen it walking towards someone, and then it jumps at them, and that's it. But it has like a massive... Yeah.
Do it. Get into it.
Yeah.
It's good fun. It really is good fun.
Because I enjoyed the Predator remake they did, not remake, the animation they did.
Yeah, that was good. I didn't mind that.
Really. Sorry, Payne.
Alien Earth is top tier. It is probably one of the best shows. And I was speaking to one of my friends, I think I maybe said this to you, Casey, as well. If Star Wars can learn anything from Alien Earth, it's that the 45 to 1 hour episodes work so well compared to the stupid 23 minutes that Star Wars were doing in all their shows, because it just isn't enough time. But Alien Earth, jump back on it, Steve. It's well worth the watch.
Yeah, give it. It's got like, I think the 6th episode is out today, so you can sit there and binge them all pretty good.
Yeah, I can just get like a 5-hour slot.
The kids in bed, you're fine.
That's it.
Timothy Oliphant in it is brilliant, and so is your man Ed Edmondson, who was in Bottom. Absolutely,
I think they're all pretty good in it. Like a lot of the people that are in it, I don't know some of the cast, and I know one of the characters in it is he's an English actor, kid actor that's popped up and stuff. But the names that are in it pull it really well together, and it's really well done. It's one of those sort of things that looks like a little bit of a labour of love, like they actually give a shit about it and
like they care about the universe. Yeah.
And
what do you think about the last 3 then? So Prometheus, Covenant, Romulus. what did you actually think about the last three films before it?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because Prometheus for me was sick. Like the world building that
Mm.
they could have got from that with like the engineers and everything could have been absolutely phenomenal. And then same for Covenant, like go get into the planet of the engineers, and then they just sort of went, no, Sam, I'm not. But no, like they could have got it to her getting to the planet, the whole discovery of it and everything, and then all of a sudden, bump. They were just like, no, we're going to cut that from the film. We're just going to make everyone go to this planet. And all that. You've cut so much of the good stuff out of it.
I went to see Prometheus with a girlfriend at the time who was a massive HR Geiger fan, and yeah, she was weird anyway. But like basically everything's just dicks with HR Geiger. And again, same thing. I thought the world building was good. I did not give a shit about the crew of the ship or the cast. I just, you're just like, okay, whatever. And then
Idris was the most throwaway character.
Yeah, and then it just sort of went. Some bits in it just seemed wild. Some bits, and then it sort of carried on a little bit with the next two.
Yeah.
And by the time of the third one of it, I was just like, yeah, okay, you've got an alien, great, off you go.
What annoyed me about Prometheus is when Charlize Theron character, why did she not just run to the side? I mean, that was probably one of the worst deaths I've seen. It was almost, it's kind of like in Austin Powers where the security guard's screaming no at the roller and he's like miles away from it. It's like, fucking hell, man. Charlize, you're fucking run to the side, it's falling towards you.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's like same as when, go on, sorry, Keith. Go on.
No, go on, you're all right, mate.
I was just saying, like, it's same as like when they get locked in the room with the alien, and like you can see it visibly popping out of the person's behind chest, but instead of open the door, she just looks at her like, nah, you're stuck in there now. Like, we know this door works in 1.3 milliseconds opening, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch you get nommed, and then I'm going to freak out about it. World building excellent. The only thing that went too far for me was the most recent one, Romulus, where it was the half human alien, and I was like, I get it that we want to make it that, but again, unless you're going to link it with Earth and stuff like that, unless they have, don't get me wrong, but it was very good.
I actually really liked Romulus because it was kind of.
I loved everything except that.
It was kind of like Alien Resurrection a wee bit. I mean, I actually really did like Romulus because like they had that kind of half alien.
Human. I thought there was some good bits, but
I think cinematically, like when they've got like the space station hitting the rings, and like stuff like that, like cinematically and like audio, incredible. However, that end scene where they're like, oh, the alien that he went in with the stun rod and then got killed and everything like that, phenomenal cinematography all the way through until that final section where they just sort of went, that's a 7-foot guy in an alien costume, fight it. Like it was very much like the aliens were so well designed to that point. The blood scene, like, let's be honest, like incredible. And then it gets to that bit and I was like, it just feels like they've built all this build up to then at the end go, well, that's your monster, that's your climax, thanks for coming. Like that was it. I was like, they could have built so much more.
Yeah, it feels. I think you sort of mentioned it earlier, where you mentioned about the Predator animations. The recent Predator films under the name Predator, same thing. Feels like a nice little bit of thing here going on. Here's a Predator. Okay, he's going to have to fight someone. Here's a random group of people. Now you're going to fight it. Thanks, bye. And then Prey came along and spun it on its head, where it's like, okay, here's some Native Americans. Cool. Here's the Predator. Off you go.
Yeah, literally.
Didn't need anything else, and it was perfect. I think Prey is up there as one of the perfect modern version of a classic.
Yeah,
because we had French people dying in it. It's always good when the French are dying.
Yeah, that's always helpful.
I mean, can we just point out the one scene though where the guy was taking him on with the bow, and the Predator had to go invisible just to get away from it. I was like, nah, Predator should have just died. Should have just fought on it, and that was it. Film over. Should have just got killed by the guy with the bow and arrows, ripping arrows out and firing him back at him. And I'm like, nah. Predator should have been like, do you know what? Graceful death, fair play.
Oh, you got me.
Yeah, you've had 6 arrows in me. I'm not going to go invisible. I'm just going to take this like a man. Like just straight.
For me as well, just on that, it was the random bits of it building at the start where it's trying to figure out what's top of the food chain on this planet.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got this. Oh, look, it's a snake. Killed it. Oh, look, it's this. Killed it. I'm going to fight a fucking bear. Like, that's the shit we wanted as a kid. Who would win, a predator or a bear? It's like,
Literally that.
they give it to us.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the new animation then at the very end where it was like they've got like apex of everyone's time period?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, again, they tied it in. You had the pistol. It was like, perfect.
Yeah.
You're linking it all together, and it's spot on.
Yeah.
The Predator should have accepted the loss. It would have been sort of the code he lived by. Yeah, but Predators don't have a code because we know when they're losing, they blow everything up.
Yeah, they just boil it for everybody.
Yeah, they get bored, don't they? They're just like, that's it. I'm just going to click some buttons now. I'm going to have a nuke. So thanks for the bow and arrow. But he is correct. Like, their whole honor system is meant to be like, you've beat me, fair play. The others can learn from this. I'm going to send some information and they'll come back and hunt you again. But yeah, like the Scottish.
Listen,
That is a look of disdain off Dogger.
if I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. If it wasn't for Scotland and the amount of stuff that we stole from people, we wouldn't have invented or stole half the shit.
You are literally like blood ravens, aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Blood ravens are the Scottish. There you go, confirmed.
Pretty much. Like, somebody invented the phone, we went and stole it, and then said, oh, we invented that. Here I do, telling us. I mean, we've got the biggest empire in the world, mate. Do one. I was actually going to ask a question, and I can't fucking remember what it was. But aye, man, get on Alien Earth. I won't spoil it for you, right?
Oh, fucking hell.
Well, we can't spoil it too much because we don't know how it ends yet because they're still showing it.
Yeah,
that's the main thing. So get on it quick.
The key thing with donkeys, talk to them before the show finishes.
Pretty much.
And I will have to watch it in a minute.
I'm alright. But aye, it's such a good show, man. Really enjoying it. But there is a new Predator film coming out. Looks alright.
Yes, Badlands, November. Because I've got Predator tattooed all the way up here, like tattooed up here. Then I've got my little face hugger down here. Got it all, mate. Like big alien Predator fan.
Don't gloves this then. Your tattoos. How many have you got and what you got?
Oh, so entire left arm is film references and like pop culture. So I've got like Lord of the Rings, a Witch King with the little bird, Stormtrooper, Facehugger, Dratini from Pokemon, Scream Mask, all that sort of stuff. But I've got probably about 35 to 40 in total. Entire right arm is all Greek mythology, and then I've got chest, leg. Yeah, I've got a lot, but I drew everything on my left arm and right. Everything on my hands I drew and then did it all.
Do you have a wee tattoo of the owl from Clash of the Titans?
No, I don't.
Well, that's what you need to get next.
I've got like a big Athena up here, her owl and everything like that. Like it's just very different. But I've not had some for quite a while now. The last one I got was my Predator, and that was like a 1 day sitting of 7 hours, and I was like, "It's I'm too old for this shite."
All right, Danny Glover, calm down. Yeah, I need to get my 4th Nerd one finished, and then that's my Nerd one project. But I've been waiting. Yeah. I've got 3 Nerd ones, so I just need to get one more, and then I'll maybe get another another Plague Marine tattooed on my leg.
Mate,
actually, do you have any 40k tattoos? I didn't quite hear them there.
I don't yet. So I was debating for a long time about what to get. So I've got my elbow free still now. I was debating between like a Dune Spice Worm, the One Ring, or like the Eye of Terror. And I was like, I don't know which of the 3 to go for, for the full colour. And I was like, I just don't know yet.
Get the Eye of Terror over your arsehole. That'll be fine.
It's an amazing first date.
Trying to see my Eye of Terror,
yeah, exactly that. They'll never know which side.
They'll never see it coming. That's the thing.
But yes, it's one of those things. It's very different. But yeah, covered. Absolutely covered.
I can't. That's so annoying me now. That question, I can't remember. I was going to ask.
I'll ask some other bits then. We'll go back to hobbying for a little bit, and if it pops up on your mind, don't come back to us. I had clocked a comment in there from Commissar Molotov. I don't know if he's still watching. I think he might have buggered off by now because he's a teacher and he's going off planning his lessons for tomorrow. But when, seeing as you're back into Warhammer after your hiatus, have you looked at any other systems since getting back and thinking, I like those minis, I might give that a crack,
Yeah, so I have actually looked at Shatterpoint. I did some before. I did like a couple of commandos just to test, like a gradient of grey up to white.
Yep.
But now I've actually got the Mandalorian sat underneath my desk at the minute, like debating going to it. I've got the Mandalorian set, like the armor and everything. And the only other system I've looked at was, I think, Moonstone or whatever it is. Like some of those like high fantasy miniatures look a lot of fun to paint. But yeah, I might get around to them. I know I definitely will get to Star Wars, but not sure about Moonstone yet. Maybe.
And I tell you what, the difference between the Shatterpoint minis and the Games Workshop stuff, I think it's still atomic mass, and I've played Crisis Protocol, so I know what the minis are like.
Yes.
What do you think of the difference of them? Obviously, the scale's much different, but how do you think the quality compares?
I think the quality is actually really good. To say that you get 4 minis on a sprue, like yay big and high quality, but I will say they're less detailed. I think that's the nicest way I can say it, because Star Wars obviously is less detailed. Not less detailed. I wouldn't say that's a fair comment. I think it's just less detailed models. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of flat panels. When you look at a Mandalorian, it's flat panels, and that's about it.
Yeah.
You look at like the newest Space Wolves release, you've got different backpacks, you've got different bolt guns, you've got different pelts and all this sort of stuff. And that's a refreshing change a lot of the time, is that to paint something that's got 10 armor panels and a bit of trim is stunning, because you can just sit and knock it out in one instead of getting distracted by the 86,000 gem you found on a model. It's nice to have a bit of simplicity as well as just nice to put together. I think the only downside has been the lightsabers, because they are flimsy and stick thin. Like,
I've
really
heard that. That's the annoying thing, isn't it? Because the lightsabers are the standout bits, aren't they? You can get all sorts of stuff going on them, but if it snaps, it snaps.
Yeah,
I suppose
exactly.
that would probably be the biggest comparison to where, even if you look at the old style Space Marine minis compared to where they are now, the evolution of the Space Marine, shall we say, is complete night and day to how it used to be.
It's mental, mate. Absolutely mental. Like, even look at Primaris when they first came out. You remember those like 3 easy to build, where they, like, one had like the scanner, the Auspex scanner, the other one was pointing. Look at them compared to a modern day model. Like, look at them now. It's just like, oh, we've got these extra armor panels and they're a bit taller. To now, like, hey, this is the 67th bit. You have to stick to this one model in order to make it. Like, do you remember the controversy of the Saturnine Terminator? It was like 270 parts.
Yeah.
For a Dreadnought, sorry, not a Terminator. And I was like, that's insane.
Like, the Horus Heresy. The Horus Heresy release, I think it was the 2nd edition one, where the shoulder pads were split in the middle. Why would you ever split a shoulder pad down the center? It's just ridiculous.
I refuse to paint them for that reason. Like, I'm not going to sit and paint Mark 6 Marines and get pissed off at the fact that it's not smooth. Like, I will go to Tortuga Bay and order some shoulder pads and some scaled Heresy miniatures that are just that bit taller.
But then Death Guard models have had split things for fucking ever, man. We've had split shoulder pads as well.
Like with your little tree growing for it. I remember like Dark Imperium. Like, I remember like all the models, like any time you had a bit of detail, it just split on the shoulder pad, and I was like, ah, painful. Yeah.
And a bastard, because it's then painting it and spraying it. It's like, I keep losing my train of thought, man.
That's age, don't that?
It's because I shaved my beard. I've taken away all my magical powers. That's what it is.
I was going to say, you lose your hair, you lose your ability to think.
Yeah.
All you thought was there's nothing to stop them.
Exactly. Exactly. But like, do you play much now? If you get time, when was the last time you played a game of Warhammer?
Right, here's a fun fact. I've never played. I have never ever played. I had. Do you remember when Night Lords came out, I was in Sheffield at the time, and the Outpost, which is a local store down there, said to me, like, we're going to do all these things, we're going to do a launch weekend, you love painting them, so why don't you come down, get involved in a startup, and do it all. So I bought the dice, I bought absolutely everything, came to the day, and I was like, this just doesn't interest me. I was like, I like making them look pretty, and that's where it ends for me. I just don't think I've got the capacity to it. I will spend 6 hours researching how to paint a model properly than I will reading a rule book. Like, just it won't happen for me, I don't think. I wish it would, because they don't all sit in a case forever then. But
but it's nice that you've got that thing. You've got your case. You can open them up. Like, look what I've done. Aren't they great?
Yeah, exactly.
Close it. Away it goes.
Exactly that. Like, they're done. That's finished. Move on. And then come back to it like when it comes to it. But yeah, it's very much. It's why I would consider. I think the one time I would consider is that commission, is because then I could paint it, enjoy it, and then see someone else enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, that's the, at least then I know someone else is enjoying it, rather than it just, as you say, sitting in a case and I look at it and go, oh, I spent 20 hours doing that. Like, there's my life in a box.
Has anyone ever entered any stuff that you've painted for them into a competition and won that competition?
Not one. Someone entered, it was local to me, RGW was hosting it, and they entered an intercessor which I painted for them with like the Black Templar mask, like I'd done like the full cross. And the store manager texted me because he knew me and was like, "Your miniatures in this competition." And I was like, "It's not me, because I've not put it in." And it was like, "No, this lad I think you've sold it to, who ordered it from you, has put it in as his." And I was like, "I just let him have it." I was like, "Don't let him win, just let him have it though." I was like, just let him. I was like, I'm not going to come down to the store and call him out, because it just upsets people, doesn't it? And I just can't bother. It's not worth it.
But then at the same time, it's a bit cheeky. Like,
oh, it is.
I mean, fair enough, he didn't go like gold or demon with it or anything like that.
No, I am not that standard. That's for Taukum, so let him go. Let him go fight with the big boys.
Yeah.
But imagine if he did, though. He went full scale.
Oh, it'd break my heart, like.
That
would. It would break my heart. Like I said this to Sam, like, I'm going next year to Adepticon. My aim isn't to win a demon. I just want a commended pin. I'm not going with the expectation that I'm going to beat these people. In the last 6 years, people have got absolutely mentally good at painting. Like, as I said, like, look at when I was a kid. Like, people used to just put base colours, and then if they highlighted, they were a freak.
If they shaded, they were insane. What are you doing?
like literally, that's it. Like, if someone had skeletons that weren't just one colour, you'd be like, "Whoa, what have you done to them?" And now, like, I see death rattle armies, and I'm like, "What has gone on?"
Yeah,
I'm like, it's mental. Like, I sent that photo in the chat the other day. Them Elucidian Star Striders.
Yes, yeah.
I was in Warhammer Paris, right, and someone's just done like non-metallic metal blends into purples, and I'm like, this guy's just sat here and he's just coming to the store and going, "Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to win this trios competition." And I'm like, that's just bonkers that people paint like that now for fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's impressive. Don't get me wrong, but I think the market is no longer heavy metal, and it's not. Like, it's very much what's the word? Objective highlights. Do you know what I mean? Like, directional highlights is where it's now gone. 2 years ago it was heavy metal. Now it's light source highlights.
What is it like? Now that you mentioned non-metallic piss, right? What's the one technique that you hate doing or you don't want to do?
Non-metallic metal. I hate it with a passion, mate. So like the standard rule is, for me, I'll always undercoat for a metallic, unless I'm in a rush or I'm not that arsed. And for silvers, I do a dark blue just to bring it out a little bit more, and for gold, I do a light brown. But like, you're doubling up on time. Like this custode that I'm doing now, you're talking like an hour for a shoulder pad, because you're doing all your light brown, then you're putting your gold, then you're doing your wash, then you're doing your reset. Like, it just becomes tedious. Like, non-metallic, I started with the light brown and tried it on one of these shoulder pads, and I was like 3 hours in, and it looked nothing like gold. Like, and I'm like, well, I understand it's practice, and I've done it a few times, but it's just not worth 12 hours on a shoulder pad to make it look like gold. I'd rather do true metallic metal and do a bit of weathering, make it look battered, than make it look non-metallic. It's a skill, and I respect anyone who can do it, but it's just not for me.
Would you say it's one of the biggest fads in painting?
Fad, I think yes, because it's one of those things that we all know that a metallic would look like a metallic. Warhammer has always been, it is a silver weapon, it is a gold detail. It's more of a skill show off than it is a realism for the universe. And as I say, like, fair play to people who do it. Like, Den did it on one of his models, like non-metallic gold. And I was like, do you know what? Looks incredible. However, for me, it just doesn't suit my style. Like, painting an army of 60 models. Like, if someone commissioned me and said I want non-metallic metal, I'd be like, no. I'm not accepting, because I'm not sitting there for the next 200 hours pissing about with making every single one look right for objective. And, you know, like, it all has to look from the same angle when you line them up. And I'm like, no, it's just not worth it.
You know what? I know you said it's a fad, Dunk, but I went to like a gallery a couple of weeks back when I was away, and I looked. I was looking at this painting. I think it was one like something to do with the Battle of Waterloo, and it wasn't the famous one with the horses charging across the field. It was something else, and obviously bearing in mind back in the day they didn't have metallic paint, so they've got to blend their yellows and browns and everything, and it looked the detail on it looked fucking outstanding. But do you think that people may be just looking at classical techniques and thinking, I'm going to be a flash cunt and put this on a mini?
I won't say flash. Have you seen the painter Megan Edge online at the minute? So he paints in oil paints. Now, that for me looks fantastic. Like, and it does, don't get me wrong, like it's like he looks at the artwork of a book and replicates it on a miniature. Again, for a one-off, mint. For an army, it's not repeatable. Yeah. I wouldn't want to sit there for that. I think it's very much for display painters of these fancy techniques. Like, if you don't want to be heavy metal, you've got to do something different, and you've got to make yourself stand out. And that's where it comes into it.
So, what do you have planned for Adepticon then? What's your project that you're thinking of doing? Can you spill any beans or any spoilers?
I'm thinking of doing I'm doing Valdor for one. So I've got a Valdor that I will be taking along, fully painted. I'm converting him up. So this little custode I'm doing now, which is with the hood, I caused a bit of controversy with some people who follow me for the hood, because I was like, does it go or not? And I had a lot of no's, and now I've painted it. Everyone's like, oh, it looks sick. Like, yes, I'm aware, like Shadowkeepers should. But yeah, I'm going to basically bastardize Valdor, give him a power axe instead. There was a really good conversion a couple of years ago, which was the Shadow Warden. So I'm going to cut him up and make him into the Shadow Warden. And yeah, that's one. And the others is 2 dioramas that I'm going to be working on, one for AOS and one for 40k. They will be hinted at along the way. Iron Jaws will be part of my AOS one, because I've got too many of those sat around to not do it. And I'm thinking probably Stormcast, but I've got to master my true metallic metal. I don't want to do Golden Boys. I want to do the Hallowed Knights, the silver with the blue tint.
Yep.
I've tested it a few times, and I've got the Stormcast Heroes box sets, knocking them out at the minute. So I'm going to do a couple of test models, see how I get on with them. But yeah, diorama or dual, probably more likely dual is what I'll say, for workload, and also carrying them on a plane across the world is not going to be a diorama fun.
That always scares me when you see people going to Adepticon and stuff, and you hear the horror stories of, and I'm not trying to scare you, obviously, but
no.
People losing their armies and bags going missing, and people going to hotels, coming back, and boxes have been taken. It just feels like
it terrifies me when it does.
Yeah, if you are interested in half-inching anything Warhammer related, Adepticon is the place to do it.
Yeah, no, you're not even wrong. Like, the amount of people, as you say, that like, oh, my backpack got taken, and it's got like 600 points in it. Even though it's 600 points to someone, it's still well painted miniatures. Like, it's mental or competition pieces. Yeah.
So our resident midget and Mr. Internet, Sam, has asked, Steve, where does your love from Kislev come from?
So that was when I was a kid. There was Tomb Kings and Wood Elves, and at the same time there was the full Empire range and everything around. And Kislev was still knocking around at that point, but it was a lot harder to get hold of, like so hard. But I was bought 2 of the Cossack riders, you know, like the face mask down, the little feathered bit at the back. Bought 2 of them, and they were the 2 models that stayed on my desk from probably like age 9 all the way until about 16. Because I just absolutely love the aesthetic of them. It was such love history, so it was that Polish sort of look to the actual cavalry. It was like historical meets fantasy. Loved it. Got stuck into the faction with like riding bears. And when you're a kid, like when you're looking and someone's like, "Oh, the Green Knights here," and then you've got someone riding a kick-ass bear.
Yeah.
Bears every day. Like, and it reignited for me when Total War Warhammer 3 came out. I was all over that when Kislev was around. Got every DLC. I was like, they've got now like the creatures from the wild and everything. Yeah. They expanded the lore. Yeah, absolutely loved it. It just expanded. And then when they announced Old World, and we're like, oh, it's going to be a while before Cathay and Kislev come. And then what, a year in, and they go, oh yeah, Cathay's here. And I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for bringing the faction that you've never done models for, but not bringing Kislev.
Yeah, that was a bit of a kick in the teeth. Because I think it is, like you said, like people, when they were into the original fantasy, like Kislev and the Northern Wastes and all of that, everyone was just like, but Empire Vikings. Then when they actually released them, and it, like you say, it was more Polish, Ukrainian, Teutonic knights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was so much better than anyone anticipated.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Like, don't get me wrong, Cathay they've done amazing work on. Like, as much as the Sentinel model is an absolute pain in the ass to build because the instructions are wrong, like, it's it's a stunning model. Do you know what I mean? If you only want a dry brush, you can literally base coat it with like a spray, dry brush, model done. And it looks amazing. The balloon terrifies me. Like, I'm waiting for Mr. Internet to build the balloon so that I can see the size of it. Like, I saw Duncan Rosa and it's like up here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wouldn't want to try and paint that by brush.
I did see it in the flesh when I was on Warhammer World, and it is a fair old size. It's like a 2-litre bottle of Coke. I think that's the best way of saying it. But, it looked good.
Yeah,
and
like
you say, the Sentinel looked good as well. But, it isn't like, I think I agree with you. They've sort of played their cards way too close to their chest on that. It's like, no, you're not getting anything cool soon. Oh shit, we better deal an X. Bang.
Yeah, literally that. It's like, oh, sales have dropped because High Elves haven't sold as much as we thought. Like, yes, High Elves are a stunning model, and I'm really glad you brought back like the Lothan Chariot and everything like that. But again, it comes down to £60 for 20 High Elf Spearmen. Like, it's not, yeah. Like, for Cathay, I see it now because they're all brand new molds. Do you know what I mean? They're all brand new. They've all got alternative heads. Didn't get that back in the day with High Elves. You're having a pointy. That's what you're getting.
I think the other thing is when they re-released a lot of the older stuff, like the first thing, the Elves, the Bretonians, and the other lot they raised, Mary, and then the Orcs. Yeah. All of those ranges have been knocking around for years on eBay. Yeah. So they weren't ever going to make any money in re-releasing all of that stuff. First of all, they should have just gone in and been like, "We're doing this. Here's a new army straight away, and while we're at it, we'll now start re-releasing everything that's old, and then hit you with a new army a year or two down the line."
Yeah, would agree. I really do agree with that. Yeah, it's one of them where, like, I know they've released like heroes for High Elves. Like, don't get me wrong, stunning Lord of Thrace and that woman, the other character, stunning models. But 2 models of faction doesn't make up for the fact that you've abandoned the game system for the best part of 10 years. Yeah, like, it's Age of Sigmar's 10th anniversary this year, is it not? I think something like that. Yeah, I saw a post about it. I think it's like 10 years, and I'm like, well, you've killed fantasy for the last 10 years, and you've given Chaos a model. Like, you've given that's it. It's like Necromunda gets put like new stuff. Like this week, we get it's on Saturday, the new Paladin Enforcers. Like, look at what we're getting. You're getting the Captain's Guard, you're getting this plastic kit, you're getting the Psychers, you're getting everything. And then you look at Old World and they just go, here's a model on your bike. Yeah.
So just before we wrap up here, I've got a couple of questions before we go.
Yeah.
This is a question that we like to ask people near the end as well. If there was one model that you could paint, what is your ultimate model that you would like to paint?
Oh, I would actually probably go rogue here, and I'd say like one of the Titans. I'd love and always have loved a Reaver. Like the Reaver Titan to me, Gatling cannon one arm, claw or fist in the other. Claw of Chaos, Fistif Loyalist, like stunning model. Like it's just one of those that with the detail and intricacies, but also just a classic. Like you look at it and you know it's Warhammer. Like there's, like it's just always been there. Yeah.
How long did it take you to get to the heavy metal style before you personally were happy with what you were producing?
Probably the last 2 months is what I'm going to say, in like the nicest way. Like I did my first Space Wolf box, that's 2 months ago. So I did my first Space Wolf, wasn't fully happy with it. Did a second one, ended up weathering it. Took a break and did my Iron Jaw, and that was literally 2 weeks ago. That's the first piece of work I've put out as like heavy metal style and been like, do you know what? That actually looks like I've fully gone for it.
And what was what do you think the difference is between then and like when you first started doing it?
Patience, I think, is the only thing I can say, and that sounds really stupid, but it's patience and cleanup. Do you know what I mean? It's very much. I don't think I gave enough credit to how long it takes to tidy a model up to make it look seamless. Do you know what I mean? It's very easy to put a chunky highlight on, but then if you put one on and then you flip it around and you see that one's slightly larger on the right leg than it is on the left, you have to equalise it because you know it now and other people will notice it. It's all about that. The box art's perfect, isn't it? Is how it is. Annoyingly, it is perfect. So if you're going to go for that style, you've got to have consistency. And I think it's took me that long. And it's something I'm discovering. Space Marines is, they look simple, yet they aren't.
Yeah.
Like to edge highlight, as much as you'd think that, oh, it's clean panels, it's this, it's that. They're not. I found highlighting an orc easier and painting flesh than highlighting a Space Marine. And that's not something I ever thought I'd say. Like, there was 30 times the highlights on the orc. But because there were a lot of sharp edges rather than, you know, glazing a corner up or all that sort of stuff, it's very, very different experience.
I'm going to go back to one Doug asked a minute ago, right? About if you could paint any mini, what would it be?
Yes.
From when you were in it originally, if you can go back and paint something that you did before, what would it be?
Ushabti by Tomb Kings. So I just had one which was like, as I said, like a little bone, pink and bright blue mess by the end of it with gold flame like thrown in the middle of it. And now I look at them and I'm like, I think I could finally do them justice. I think that'd be the nice thing to do. Because now they're out in metal as well and not fine cast. So I'd be quite content to do so. Very different.
And what's on your table that you're planning for up until Adepticon? Obviously, you've mentioned the what you're planning on entering, but anything on your table immediately that you're trying to get out of the way?
The new Deathwatch Marines, which which are currently sat on my desk. They will be started this week because I'm off until next week. So I will be starting them this week. I've been looking at the designs mainly like square backpacks instead of the rounded for Primaris and little touches like that. Little things that make them look really nice. Just trying to do that Xenophase blade justice though, because that's the one thing that terrifies me at the minute is that Xenophase blade. After Kimmy's posted and you saw his shield and then his Xenophase blade, it's made me want to block him for the last 3 times I've checked his page because I'm like, you're a scumbag.
I think you should block him. That will teach him a lesson.
But yeah, so that's that. And then I'm in a similar position to you guys because I'm in the process of launching my own little podcast with Matt.
Well, if you ever need two decent guests.
Well, that will be the next part. We'll be asking you two to come along. So yeah, that's what we're... All right, Dunk, there's no need for that. I'll come and shave your eyebrows off. But yeah, so it's just planning and prep for that as well.
What kind of podcast is it going to be? Is it going to be like this, or is it going to be like more hobby, like painting and like theory based, or what?
So a bit of everything. The idea at the minute is there's 3 of us. There's me, Max, and his partner Kim. Kim's going to do the lore perspective because she's very new to Heresy, so she's going to take people through that once a week. Interview like this, like yourselves, 1 time a week, and then a general hobby catch up and bit of running things through. You know, like I've said that I'm quite happy. And what I'd like to do, realistically, for myself is start doing tutorials for my page. If I got the following and there was the demand for it, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be one of those that puts a tutorial out and goes, watch my tutorial. Like, you have to watch this. If someone said to me, like, I think it'd be good content, you know, I would like to see how you do this, then I'd happily show people. I'm not ever going to try and gatekeep what I do. I've learned everything I know from other people, like Den messaging him like a year ago and been like, how do you paint heavy metal so well? And he literally spent 25 minutes voice noting me and was like, do this, do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
And
we need to schedule him back on because he was supposed to come on, and then I think a relative had passed away or something.
Yes.
He couldn't come on.
Den is an absolute gem, mate. Den really is. Yeah.
And he's found an axe, so we've got to bring him on just in case we need him in an apocalypse situation. He can chop wood. Do you know what I mean? It's always handy to know somebody can chop wood.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
One of the questions that I was going to ask, behind every good hobby, or there's a hobby widow. Does your partner indulge in the hobby aspect of life?
Never.
Or does she just let you go on your merry plastic ways?
No, in all of my time in hobby and any partners, no one has ever indulged except myself. I've never involved anyone in it. It has literally always just been my thing, just for what I have enjoyed. It's my little getaway. Do you know what I mean? I read the books, I do the painting. It's just my own little escape. I wouldn't want to.
And one of my favourite questions, right? So, I don't know if you're with somebody just now or you're not, right? So that's by the by. At what point do you tell them that you paint plastic toys?
Straight up. Straight up, mate. If you don't say it straight up and rip the band-aid off, you're only inviting it, aren't you? Like, you're only inviting it, like, you move in a year later and then you bring in 20 boxes of unpainted Warhammer and she's like, what the shite is all this? And you're like, yeah, sorry, this is actually enough to buy you out of your house. Don't think you realise that's a first edition model.
Yeah.
Like, look at Sam. If Sam, like, anything happened to Sam now, like, earlier, we were on about in the chat earlier, I don't know if you saw it done, red painting handles. Remember the Citadel red painting handles?
Yeah.
So Stevie and our chat's been after one for ages, and I found one online that had been used. Sam's like, yeah, don't worry about it, I've got a brand new one. We were like, Sam, do you realise that they're like £150 on eBay? Why, it's a piece of plastic. He has no idea how much he's sat on in that hobby desk.
One of these things, but just red.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not even that. I put something on a little while ago. I was after some Skaven, and I was like, "Has anyone got this set of Skaven Underworlds? They're out of production from a while ago. Let me know." And Sam's typing away to me. He's like, "Did it come in this box?" I was like, "Yeah." I went, "Give me half an hour," and he's come back. He's got a picture of it. It's like, "Yeah, I bought this. I've never opened it." It's like, "You mad bastard!"
Yeah, literally that. He did that with that. And the reason he's asked about Kislev is because I want his army. He's got an entire Kislev army brand new in the box. He's never used it, he's got it sat there.
Oh, well, I was chatting to him yesterday when he was doing one of his many lives, Mr. Internet, and he was saying that he's got all these armies he's just like punting off now, and it's giving him more space. And then he was talking about his record collection when he used to be a DJ, apparently.
Yeah, his drum and bass days.
Back in his drum and bass days, he's saying he's got like albums from everything as well.
Yeah, some of those vinyls go for a ridiculous price. Like, I bought some stuff ages ago, and I look at it, and it's just like
mental.
5 times the value now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's absolutely bonkers.
My mum's husband is a big Elvis fan, and he's got like all Elvis albums for like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, absolute bank. That's what it is. Like, yeah, look at it. But even look at like Centos recently, prime example.
Yeah.
Keep him brand new box and give it 2 years, and you'll be making 500 quid.
Oh, I've ruined mine already.
Well, I had the TLF White Room vinyl, and I gave that to a friend, and as a present, because I didn't have a record with him. I regret that now because it's worth a fair bit now.
Yeah, it's mental. It's mental. It's just hobbies, isn't it? Everyone's horses for courses.
Yeah,
goes up in price or not.
When do you think you'll start your podcast? When are you wanting to launch it?
So, controversially, I've organised the 27th of September to interview Hellglazer. Starting strong with him. I know him quite well. So, starting with him and end of the month record that and then start, hopefully, October. Starting sending stuff out, like weekly, content-wise. As you know, you both know Max is keen as hell. And he'll always push for things to happen as well. So, yeah.
Definitely will.
And will you be doing it live or will it be pre-recorded and then edited nicely, unlike ours?
So, I think we're going to pre-record for like our bigger ones. Do you know what I mean? Like if I've got someone that I'm a bit nervous about and stuff like that, so that if I'm a tit, I can edit it out. I think that's the biggest thing that I can say with that. But the hobby chats and stuff like that will be all live and everything like that. So yeah, I think it's just going to be the big ones where if someone says something they don't want on, I can then help them move it around.
That's a fair point.
See if you're needing like any like addresses or email addresses for like guests like Graham McNeil or anybody like that. Because we've had like Graham McNeil, Peachy, Duncan Rhodes.
People like Peachy, Duncan, I'd love to have them and speak to them now because they're just like hobby gods to me.
Some of them respond by direct message on Instagram. Graham McNeil, I only ever contacted him through Twitter or X, or whatever you call it now. He is well keen for coming on because he just loves chatting about everything. We've had him on a couple of times. Duncan knows. I think I'll send you an email address. You can, and they'll email you.
If you would, like that'd be mint. Yeah.
I'll DM you off here, and if there's anybody you're wanting to get on, if I've got an email address or a contact them, or if they'll come on or they'll respond to it, I'll let you know because.
No, that's perfect.
We've had so many good people coming on, and like some people that you expect that wouldn't answer you. Like, for example, when we first started this, I said I get quite obsessed with it. I was like doing all the bookings and all that. And I was like, me and my wife went on holiday, and I was like, I says, right, I'm not going to look at my phone. I won't look at any emails. I won't respond to anything. But I was checking my email just in case my mum had emailed me. I hadn't spoken to my mum for a while, and I seen a response for Duncan Rhodes, and I was like, I need to do that.
You're gonna have to open it.
And then that was it. She was raging for the rest of the holiday, but I bought her some nice things, and she was all right. Yeah, that was the voice of authority there. Who's she? I'm getting done in tonight.
But no, it is. You know what? I would say if for interviews as well, the other. It's unsolicited advice, but we'll give it to you. If people don't reply, don't give up.
Don't take it to heart.
Because you know what, me and Dunk, the amount of stuff, messages, emails, stuff we send out, we could send 10 and get replies to 2. And you know what? Sometimes
it's matter, isn't it? It's like you say, it's the 2 that come on and make an impact with you and spend time with you that make it worth it. And that's
the ones you don't expect. Like, and make sure, right? Number 1 tip is make sure that when you're getting a guest on that they're available for longer than 10 minutes.
As we know, yes, as we discussed a little while ago.
I'm not going to mention his name.
No, me and Casey know about it.
Don't worry. I have discussed that at length in other places, and yes, and
sometimes Casey wakes up just shouting quick stuff and £300.
PTSD, man, it comes for me every now and again.
But yes.
PTSD.
Generally, just chuck your times out and make sure they agree to it.
But like if there's anything we can do to help out, any promotion, always happy to.
Really appreciate that. No, really do, because we've built a website, everything's ready to go on that, and we're doing a little bit of something different for the website. Like anyone who's coming on, I'm getting them to send me 10 photos of their work, a little bio about themselves, bang them on there, and it goes into like a vault so that people can see everyone who's been on and everything like that, and like free marketing, really, innit? They come on, we help them. That's
He's
try to think about it.
He's way more professional than we'll ever be. But we only do it live because we can't edit.
Yeah, we can't be asked to download stuff and organise it in advance, and it's just do it one day at one time every week, sorted.
Yeah, no, but it works, doesn't it? That's the thing. It's reliable and it works.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It's your format.
And we're so thankful for like yourself giving up your time.
Yeah,
and everybody that's come on, like all 95 people that have come on, we're so thankful that they came on.
Oh, we've got 100 coming up soon, haven't we? Fucking hell.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean? You didn't put me as your 100th episode? Just come back.
Yeah, listen, Casey dropped the ball on this because we had. For episode 69, we had the Brushworkers Club. He should have booked them for the 96th guest as well, but...
I'll get them back on at some point.
Yeah. I think my favourite case is when I opened my phone yesterday in Paris and was like, Inquisition has shared this story saying you're going on, and then I looked at my message to you and I said, it's the 17th we're doing it, and you went, yeah, mate, that's fine.
yeah, that's fine. Fuck it.
I was like, I'm just going to go with it. Just going to go with it.
I seriously, like, this is the thing with, like, someone once called us a very grassroots podcast, which is a polite way of saying you don't quite know what you're doing. Somehow it's working out. Just keep going. It's very Sunday League. We are Sunday League. I think that's fair.
Yeah, but you're not bothered. You're here to make content and laugh with people. You're not here to give me the answers to 66 questions. And people aren't here for that. People just want to know the people that they see on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. And to see if they're relatable and see if they'll come on and chat. And that's the thing, because you do get some people that get above their station and they forget where they started, and then they make it and then they're shit. Do you know what I mean? And they just, I could go on about people that are fucked.
No, I get it entirely. It's people end up with 10k following and then they forget that we are all the same. We sit at a desk and we paint.
And they get invited to special events and think everyone's their mate, and really, no one cares, bruv.
Yeah, you got to just make your own friends, and you got to be a nice person to do so. That's the reality, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. Do it, don't. Max, stop encouraging it.
In a DM. We'll send it in a DM.
If you add me back into that Space Marine chat, which I left fucking months ago because I needed a bit of a break, because I think that's the other thing as well.
I wondered where you'd done, like, when you came on podcast tonight, I was like, holy shit, Dunk's alive.
Do you know what? I think I just get over, because we hadn't had a break, because we've been doing this is like our second year doing this, because it was all consuming for me especially. Like I find that, like, I've gave up a lot more, not gave up, but like Casey's taken the lead a lot more in the last 8-9 months.
Which you can tell because it's gone to shit.
No, but like, I was a bit of a control freak with it, so I just ended up burning myself out, and just with all the chats coming in and everything else, it was just a lot. So that's why I jumped out that Space Marine chat. But I need to get back in. I actually forgot about that.
We'll chuck you back in. I think Ryan's the admin. I'll get in touch back in.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's one of them that, for me, it was the opposite. I think Ryan added me just casually because I was talking to him one day, but it's become such a nice thing for me to open, like, because up here, I moved away from a lot of friends down there, and like, it's nice to have you lot round all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just, do you know what I mean? It's like, even if it's just sending the photo of this week's releases and just having a general conversation about it, it's nice to just have a conversation. Instead of...
I'm going to out someday. Fucking Warhammer last night, I asked her to come on, and she asked how many people do you have following you, and then she looked at the followers and went, oh, your follow isn't big enough for me to come on. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You fucking fucked off. As Casey would say, showed her what on fucking...
A rat.
A rat. A rat on fucking the internet, and then came back, and I had some Twitch guy asked for 50 quid to come on. So I just say no, mate. I can't remember his name actually, but if I can remember his name, I'd out him. But Warhammer last fucked me off. It's like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, I think you know what? James from Siege said it best, that there is a little bit of a social responsibility we should all have to each other, to big each other up, to promote each other as much as possible. And you know what? That's what we're here for. That's what you're here for as well.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're all in the same game.
And one of the people we never ever thought we would have on was these studios. I just emailed in just to take an email on them. And then once we had done our show with James, he actually emailed us about a month later asking to come back on to promote the Siege Scenic stuff. Do you know what I mean? But that's enough about us. This is about you. Heavy Metal Steve. And your indoor hat. Do you have an outdoor hat? Is that your indoor hat? Like,
no, this is literally this has been the travelling hat, because I got off the flight this afternoon, got to the airport, came home, and since then it will be showering after this. So,
do you have a shower hat that you put on and then a bedtime hat? Like,
yeah, mate, I can't lose my hair.
Like bloody Willy Winky, bruv. What are you doing?
Well, you know what? Some people have a house coat. This should be a house hat. We might see him in Dragon's Den in about 2 years promoting his range of house hats.
It'll just be that it says like my own name now. It'll be like when I go famous. Do you know what I mean? When I'm that good at painting, it'll just say.
And then when Yaki come back on, you're like, mate, it's going to cost you 150 quid. That's
literally, that's it. You'll send me a message and you'll be like, now you've made it to like 20k followers, you're going to come back and I'll be like, whoa, mate, your following's not enough.
You're still on 1400, boys. Fuck off.
In fact,
when you get on our level, let me know.
When are you releasing your own hat range, you pricks?
Once you can actually edit a video, then you might.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
mate.
know.
Is there anybody you'd like to give a big shout out to, or anybody you'd like to promote, or anything before we call quits on this shit show?
Do you know what? Honestly, just if anyone could and has a look at our Voxcast channel, that's going to be the podcast. But mainly just thank you to you guys. It's been a pleasure to come on. It's been good to have a chat and a catch up and get to know you better as well.
No, the pleasure's been all Casey's, to be honest.
Hey.
Folks, this is going to be the last shout this week.
Yes.
Live for Orange Brushes.
Is that what you're going?
Orange Brushes are the official sponsor of the Inquisition podcast. And they sent me all these brushes, which I'm too scared to use because I keep fucking them up. As you can see with this brush. And I tried the shampoo thing, right? But
what are you on about the general shampoo that he said, like where you just get it in Tresemme and give it a good wash, like?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Head and Shoulders will do it, though.
No,
Yeah,
I tried the old school Vocine. Mind when you go to the bath when you were wee?
I ain't heard that in years.
That's how old I am. And
when
I
are Orange
Vocine
Brushes
for
going to
about
send
3
me
weeks.
brushes?
Get you next time. I tell you what. Next time they open their stuff up, give them a shout because they're always happy to jump on and promote stuff. So
I would genuinely love to do stuff like and review them. Like, that's always been like goal for me was always not like to be famous, but just to be like enough that I can give back to the community and just be like, look, this is what's good, this is what's right. Like, just avoid this and use. Do you know what I mean? Or like, these are 10 products I'd use, these are 10 products I wouldn't, and just help people because it's a minefield for people who join our hobby.
Yeah, it's intimidating as well when you're like I compare my stuff stupidly to Sassy Nerdlin and Dr. Brusher and sometimes Celestian Line. Sometimes Celestian Line can paint alright. If he's having a good day and he's not had too many Asta shoplifting episodes, he can paint a wee midi now and again. Pretty sure it's his wife, if he's still here. And obviously Green Mank as well. So I stupidly compare myself to them. And it can become, when you see them going, and you're like, how?
Yeah. Literally. Like, I did it for so long with Den before I messaged him and asked. I was like, I don't understand why I can't do that. And that's why the first model I painted this year when I came back was a Dark Angel, because I was like, he spent ages on that, and I spent like 10 hours, and you know what? If I had an army of them, I'd be pretty much happy that that's like heavy metal tabletop plus, like that little bit between, and I'd be happy with that, like entirely. And I did it, and I was like, do you know what? To say that I've used a £20 set of Green Stuff World brushes and 12 paints from Citadel, if I can do it with them, then I don't really need to spend £600 on paints and oil washes and thinners. And it's like you said, Casey, when I first came back and said, don't spend a fortune on expensive crap because you don't know if you're going to use it or not. Like, don't get me wrong, the one thing I'll stand by is that painting handle I got that rotates so that when I edge highlight, I can literally go like that. But that's it. That's the only thing that I'll swear by.
Take it your wrist doesn't rotate, no?
No, salt and pepper pot, just bang.
Yeah, but for me, mate, like when I do it, if I struggle with shaking, like because I just have all the time.
Yeah.
So like going like that, tighten it up, and then I've got a massive hold that I can just touch away.
Yeah.
And it's such an ample tool. It's just a nice little touch. But yeah, that's the only thing I swear by. The rest is just get what works. Brushes, like I've had Rosemary and Kona, I've had Winsor and Newton. And Winsor and Newton at £25 a brush have been insanely expensive for the use I've got out of them.
Yeah, and I think that's why orange brushes are so good because, like, I've been using them. We've been with them for about a year now because I was a cheeky bastard. I actually asked them to deliver to the UK from the UK, and they went, "Aye," and I was like, "Here, what about you just sponsoring us?" You know what I mean? And they're like, "What?" And I was like,
okay.
Remind me to just be this cheeky because I think I'm looking how to do it and just message him and be like, look, this is what's happening.
Definitely do it. You don't ask, you don't get.
Giant paint minis, if that's how he touches you with a handle, then you're a lucky person.
Well, look, it just bends over just like Max.
That's how Casey bends over. Folks, we are back next week with another guest that Casey has booked and he's not told me about because he's waiting until the last
It's
possible
in our
minute.
WhatsApp, bruv. Just go back, search September. That's what I did.
I don't want to do that. It's too much effort.
Well, then we need a calendar. Fucking hell. We've only been doing this 2 years. I think it's Thursday Mini.
Start a website.
Listen, my IT guy is now 18 and he's fucking off. It's hard enough getting him to help me upload onto YouTube, never mind fucking build a website.
Just get Mr. Internet to help.
Oh, he's too busy delving through his archive and finding how much things are worth. Fucking hell.
He's too busy on the internet, to be honest.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, Steve, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. If you don't become too massive over the next 8 months, a year, we'd love to have you back on.
Nah, I've only just getting back to it.
Maybe with your new range of hats as well.
Yeah, you're on. Find out.
I'm just going to go for heavy metal, Steve. Then you've got to buy 2 items to match.
Pants. Yeah, make some pants and have it on the waistband. Heavy metal Steve's pants. There you go. I'll give you that one for free.
Yeah, be challenging Calvin Klein because he's had these naming people's pants for years.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Exactly that.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
It has indeed. Thank you very much, guys.
Hopefully, I'll be a wee bit more beardy next week.
If not, mate, Brit stick. Just save the hair. Yeah. Brit stick.
I would fucking shave my pubes and put it on, but I shaved them fucking last week as well, and they're gone.
Hey, that's a shame.
I'll cut that. I'll try and cut that, which probably means that will be the only bit that gets uploaded.
Yeah.
Right, folks, we're back next week with a random guest that Casey's booked and I can't be bothered searching, so we'll find out probably Tuesday next week.
I will send a reminder in a bit.
Steve, thanks very much for coming on. All the best, mate. Enjoy your shower with your house hats. And have a good rest of your Wednesday. Love you all.
See you later, guys.
Catch you all, guys.